Hello, welcome to the fifth installment or the fifth episode of the Whatever It Takes podcast. Today we have a theme, and our theme is everything takes time. For the last few podcasts, I just answered questions and tried to make it a little fun and bring up things that for myself, might help me figure out, I didn't know that about myself. Because I think sometimes we forget that we're still getting to know who we are. So, first thing, happy October. It is the 10th month, if I'm not mistaken. And it's fall. This is our first podcast in fall and in the new month. It's so exciting. Yeah. So, I thought I'd want to talk about something that I've been learning a lot about. And that is everything takes time. And usually more time than you might think it will. So, yeah, when you start, I'm using a lot of filler words. That's okay. When you start a project, you might not plan it out, and it's common to do that. It's common to just say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. But a lot of the time, if we don't plan it out, we won't actually realize how many steps it takes and how long it will take. And oftentimes, it might even take double the time that we think it should. So, just learning that everything takes time and everything is a slow process in life. It is so good to have big dreams and big goals, but finding joy in the little steps you have to take. Because there are so many little steps to get anywhere. Even, I don't know. I think somewhere there's a metaphor. Even to walking, you have to take thousands of steps a day. You have to, just to get anywhere, it takes 1,000 steps, thousands of steps. So to get anything done, there's always more steps than you really consciously think about. But I think it's good to think about them. I've actually found that in my life, it really helps me to plan things out. I haven't always been good with keeping my word to myself. I'm good when it comes to other people, but not necessarily when it comes to keeping my word to myself. Because sometimes we may sometimes not put ourselves as top priority in our lives when we should, because we are, at the end of the day, we may be all that we have. And it's good to value our commitment to ourselves, because it really helps to raise your self-esteem and confidence and be able to do more and feel like you can do it. If you don't feel like you can do it, you most likely won't be able to. Yeah. So, just knowing that everything takes time, but you are able to do it. And it's kind of fun thinking, where am I going to be in 10 years? For me, I have a 10-year plan. And mostly that's to take the pressure off of me. It's I don't have to be anything in this moment. I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to do things. And just putting life into perspective. Sometimes it can be so hard to remember that life most likely isn't only a year. Sometimes we put so much pressure into, I need to get so much done this year. I need to do everything I wanted to do. But in reality, we overestimate what we can do in a day, but we underestimate what we can do in a year. And I also think a lot of the time we don't think about the big picture, like, oh, there's more time. And even if there's not, we never know when the last day will be the last. We need to find joy in mindfulness and really, looking at this day as it's really funny, getting a little bit off, still on topic, but how things have an opposite. You can say one thing like a year is a short period of time, but it can also be a long period of time, and a day can be short, but it can also be long, and things like that. You can never really be right or wrong because of how life is and people's perspectives and things like that. If it's simple things, there's definitely cases where this is definitely wrong, but in little things like, this can be right and this can be wrong. I don't know if my point is quite clear, but I don't know, it is to me, and that matters a lot. I'm really trying to grow my confidence and grow just my ability. It's really, I thought I would also talk about, this is kind of a diary for me, kind of like, I can talk about, kind of like a therapy session, I can talk about what I want to talk about, and I can kind of realize the person I want to become and figure things out and really, kind of give myself this time to really, because when do we talk to ourselves so much? We talk in our minds, but we never just talk to ourselves outwardly like this. Well, some people probably do, but to me, if I'm not talking to someone directly, I'm doing all my talking in my mind. But now I can talk to myself, using my vocal cords and my words and everything nice. So, our topic is everything takes time, and hopefully I will follow up on that after we talk about some other things too. Like, I'm really excited for this month in October and Halloween, and I'm really looking forward to just, watching shows and movies, and I don't know. I want to do some Halloween, crafts or something. What are some good things to do in Halloween, at Halloween? Maybe not going out, but staying in and enjoying things. I guess I'm more excited for fall. I'm really looking forward to fall, which is like October and November and a little bit of September, and the leaves changing. The leaves are always so beautiful. And it's a nice reminder how everything changes. What else has been going on in my life? I have been doing a lot of art. That's my main focus right now. I don't know how long it's going to be my main focus because my attention span isn't the greatest at this point. But I really want to improve my art. I've been acrylic painting, just mixing colors with a palette knife and really trying to learn the colors first. The first time I did it and I painted on a canvas, I realized all my colors were very bright, kind of on the side of neon or primary. And I was like, if I want to paint something, it's not really going to look the best if it's all these bright colors. So my second time around, I mixed, them with more white and made them lighter and kind of experimented with what I could do and, how the paints mix. And that was really fun. It's really interesting, and I hope to learn more. I'm learning about, form and figure and perspective. I'm trying to be very good at studying that. I think something to remember is anything is better than nothing. If you don't have the attention span to really throw yourself into something and continuously do it, know that if you're taking the time to learn even a few minutes, it's going to help a little bit. And that's what I try to remember, because I sometimes suffer with putting too much pressure on myself. And, if it feels like it should never feel like a project you're doing or something for fun is the end of the world, You shouldn't put pressure on yourself. But sometimes we do it without really realizing that's what we're doing. And we don't get very far. I think, especially the first time we do something new, just give yourself that time. Give yourself because mistakes are half of it. There's going to be... Here's something. My aunt does a lot of knitting. And she will say, oh, I made a mistake, but nobody's going to notice, And that's kind of how learning anything or doing anything is. There's going to be, you're going to draw a picture and you're going to be like, that's not quite right. Or, I wish it was a little bit like this. But that's a constant. You're never going to, ever think anything's without fault. So you just got to keep going. You're going to be like, I wish this was a little better. I wish this was a little better. But sometimes you'll finish a painting or something. And sometimes you'll finish a painting or something. And you're still going to have all these critiques because that's what makes it better the next time. I don't think there's anyone who is truly satisfied overall. They can find true, I'm really proud of this. But you're never going to be totally satisfied. And that's what moves you forward. I think there should be a feeling of being relaxed and a feeling of, growth. I don't think it should be all I'm not happy with this. But I think there is, a healthy medium, It helps you to grow. So that's what I've been doing lately. And other than that, I've been trying to practice my guitar and play play a little bit and learn a little bit. I want to improve. I've been, I have gotten some books from the library, and I'm going to read them. I really enjoy reading long books. I don't know if I brought this up before or not, but I really like, the longest book I think I've ever read is the unabridged version of The Stand by Stephen King, which is also, a good, book to read in October for Halloween. I think I enjoyed that book. I don't know what my rating would be of it. It was very, very long and very, I think Stephen King once said he likes to describe things. So it was very descriptive in that way, and it was the unabridged version, which, has a few hundred pages more, I think. So it really was a big book, and I liked it, for what it was. Very good. So another book I just got at the library that's pretty long is Don Quixote, and I really like that story. So I'm going to read that, and hopefully I can tell you what I think of it more in depth. I've never read the book, but I've watched media about it. So I'm excited about that, and I got a book to learn how to write songs better, to write songs in general, and that's something I'm really, really interested in and really want to learn. I've always wanted to learn how to do that, but it wasn't always easy for me to learn in the environment I was in. So I'm really happy to do that, and hopefully I can do that. And that's another thing where everything takes time comes into place. The last time I got this book once before, the songwriting book. And the last time, I didn't really structure out my reading. I was just like, I'm going to read this book. But I couldn't do it. It might have had to do with the format of the book. It had to do, this is a book where they give you, exercises. So you kind of have to do it chapter by chapter. Oh, I'll learn the exercises. And then really practice them and put them into place. And that's not really a book you can just read through. I am good at books that you can you learn a lot, but you just read them through. But with this type of book, you really have to go chapter by chapter, and that's something I didn't do the first time. But that also takes more time. It's not going to be a book you're going to read in 30 days. It may take somewhere from, a few weeks to a month. So I really have to know that when I go into it and try to do that. There's different ways of getting things done that really make it a lot more helpful. And as we learn, we add these things to our artillery, and we're able to do it a little quicker than last time, just in the sense of, I have this skill. I now know that I can't do it like I used to. I have to do it kind of like this and moving things around. But everything takes time, skill, advent thing. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for I've been studying a lot for an exam, and I'm excited that I'm getting the hard parts out of the way. Math is a difficult thing for many people to learn, and it was very difficult for me. It was just because that's also something, you kind of need to know the skills to learn it. You need to know, I need to learn this equation and memorize this equation, and then, or formula. I'm not quite sure how you word it, but I think you get the gist. So you have to memorize these things, but if you don't know you have to, you're looking at it and you're like, what do I do? Why is this so hard? And some math questions have multiple parts, so many parts and pieces that are like, they're like, if you forget this one little thing, if you forget to round up, if you forget this, the answer will not be correct. And just knowing that, and knowing, you kind of really have to put it into your mind. I'm on learning all that stuff. And I'm actually doing quite well because I know kind of what I have to do to learn it. I still have to study them and put them into my mind, but I'm doing very well. But I wasn't before because I didn't know that. So really, it's saying everything takes time, and sometimes that also means you have to take time for yourself. I was having so much trouble with this test that for a while I had to just stop until I realized, I can do it again, but that required taking a day off, taking a break. I was burning myself out doing so much and not understanding. So I really had to give myself that time, which involves taking more time, but it's totally good. So, yeah. Lately, I've been drinking a very interesting drink. Can you guess what I've been drinking? I only bought 2 of them, but I've been drinking Coca-Cola coffee, which I think is very interesting. To me, it tasted like I was drinking kind of 2 separate drinks, like a coffee and a Coca-Cola. And yeah, it was very interesting. I just wanted to bring that up because I wanted to try it for a long time. And it was on sale. It was on sale at the store. What does that mean? Does it mean it's not doing very well? But it was on sale, so I got 2. And they were quite nice. I had my second one today. Yeah, that's just something interesting. And I've been doing a little more with photography. I want to start taking... I keep forgetting the word. I used to know the word. But I've been taking photos of I've been taking photos, but I want to take photos of specific things, to have I forget the word, like a collection of photos that are the same thing, and you call it, insert the word here. I have no idea. So that's what I want to do. And I've been trying to be healthy, and I've been trying to make sure, my lifestyle works out for me. And I want to get more exercise. It's hard to exercise in the fall and winter because it just gets so cold. It's hard to wake up to when it's dark outside. I've been realizing that, like, usually I'll get up at 6 o'clock, but because it's so dark, I'm like, I'll get up and I'll be in the dark. Right now, my room doesn't have a light, so I usually wait till the sun starts to come out. But I have to be a little better with that. I have to think, oh yeah, it's sunny enough. It's bright enough. It's pitch dark. Don't blame me. But yeah, so doing that, and I'm very excited. I have some art projects I'm doing. And I've been doing so many granny squares, crocheting granny squares, which is so, I don't know, after a while it's very relaxing. And I'm going to be making some Christmas presents, starting those. I'm going to make some Afghans and yeah, just some big projects that are going to be fun. Yeah, doing lots of journaling, enjoying that. I have a lot of journal type of notebooks that I can use. I don't have to buy anymore, which is nice. And yeah, just one of the projects I want to do, which isn't an art project, just a life project, is to clean my room. I'm moving in December, and I'm gonna clean my room. So get everything ready, enjoying life. Have some, it's almost the season, we can start drinking hot chocolate, which is very exciting. You can drink hot chocolate in the summer if you want to, whenever you want. But for some reason, in the winter and fall, I start thinking about it, and it's so nice. Just fun things. A few weeks ago, I had a candy apple, which was very fall. I don't know if I've ever had one before, but I had one, and it was very good. I might have had one once before. It's such a weird snack. It's very fun though. They're very old-fashioned. Yeah, I'm excited for fall type of things, and yeah. What else? I want to do some sewing. I really want to sew this year, and yeah, someday I'd like to learn how to make clothes and all these little things. And I'm working on I'm almost beginning to work on some video projects, and I think I can do it. But that's also, everything takes time. I don't know how to do these things yet. And I have to learn them step by step by step. But if I take the step, it's one more step. So I just have to remind myself, oh, I want to take that step. I want to start walking. Even if I don't get far, I want to still take that step. And thinking about some fashion stuff too. I enjoyed the thought of fashion. I enjoy, I don't know. I have no real desire for like luxury, but I really like when people talk about like how fashion and how the clothes they wear make them feel. And just, yeah, I want to feel good also. I do feel good, but I want to maybe put myself out there a little more for things like that and everything. I'm doing so well, though. Yeah. I want to cook. One of my goals eventually is I'd want to bake something like every week or every 2 weeks. Like bake a loaf. Like a lemon loaf. Or what else? A blueberry loaf. I love a blueberry loaf. Homemade things and things that don't really cost too much. I'm someone who is pretty, I never deny myself anything, but I would say I like to save my money, because when you save your money, if something comes up, it's there. If emergency comes up, or if you just want to buy something new and you think it's practical and something you might need, it's good to, have saved money. Not a lot of people give themselves that nest egg, that security. And that's very important, because you don't want to give yourself unneeded anxiety. So I think it's very important to, be responsible. So, but I never deny myself anything. I don't say, no, you can't have that. I say, in moderation. Maybe you can't have it this week, but there's definitely going to be a week where you're going to get that ice cream cone, It's little things like that bring me joy. It's getting stuff off the dollar menu. No, I try not to eat out too much. I like going out. I don't really like fast food just because it's not the best for you. It doesn't mean I don't eat it. But I like, once a month, I want to go out to eat and sit down with my family or my mother or someone. And that's always more enjoyable. I realized at one point in my life that I don't like eating a nice meal alone. Especially if I don't have anything to do. That thought of, there's a writer and he goes to a coffee shop and he writes his book and he's writing his book. He gets coffee, he gets a meal, or he goes to a diner or something. And that's such a silly thought. It's such a silly thought. That'd be the hardest to write when there's so many people around you. So noisy. Diners are so noisy. But I'm saying this because that's kind of the only reason I would go eat alone, like a nice meal. Even like a diner meal, something that's not very expensive, but is if I had something to keep my mind occupied. If I didn't, it just would not be the best for me. And I understand there's a lot of people who do have to eat alone. And that's good. Not good that they have to eat alone, but good that they're still eating. It's most important that you continue to eat, no matter what you're eating or where you're eating. But for me, it's really, I'd rather save my money and go out to eat with somebody else, because I don't really find joy in just the meal. It's like a whole bunch of things coming together. The people, the meal, someone to talk to. So for me, that's really important to me, and I'm not going to spend money on things that don't really bring me some joy. A long time ago, I realized that, things didn't have the same effect on me that they used to have. I used to really relish in getting things and having things, and one day it just didn't bring me any joy to look at these things that I used to love and not really know why I didn't feel that way. It was when I look back, it was a combination of depression and, just growing up and realizing, oh, these are just things, but I still want to just invest in things that are gonna brighten my day. Yeah. So, I have a lot more energy than last week. Last week had to be kind of cut short because I was just so tired. It was a long week. I think that day, actually, I had to go to the doctors for some tests and stuff. So I was really, sometimes just getting out and being around other people is exhausting. I love other people, but when it's like that, going to the doctors, that's not fun. Yeah. So, yeah, I have a lot more energy, and it might be because I just drank the Coca-Cola coffee, which is interesting. So, yeah, I don't know how long this podcast's gonna be or when I decide to end it, but I feel really good. Yeah. So, what are some exciting things coming up? Oh, I've been watching a Halloween show. Not specifically Halloween, but it makes me think, it's a good show to watch during October. And that is Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I love this show. I used to watch it on ABC Family when that was around. Oh, ABC Family was like the best channel because it had like a lot of content for like, I don't know if you'd say more mature audiences, but it had a lot of teen content and a lot of good shows. So, yeah, I've been really happy with that. Here's something to tell you. I really like shows that have half an hour episodes. Because for me, it's like a whole hour or 45 minutes. For me, that's too much. It's like, it's hard to stop watching an episode, but when you start a new episode, it's going to be nearly an hour before it's over. And I have a hard time really turning something off. So if it's going to be a whole hour, that's hard. If it's only half an hour or 24 minutes, then I'm like, oh yeah, I can watch this and then get back to my work. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when it's an hour, it also feels like they kind of stretch out the story. I don't know if you feel that or, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like there's like things that don't need to be there, but maybe they do. Depends on the show, definitely. There's a lot of good shows with an hour runtime, but I just want to get through these seasons like nobody's business. I want to zoom through them. Very cool. So, other than that, let's see. Yeah. Well, I guess this is where we're gonna say goodbye this week. This was a very fun one. I really enjoyed this. And yeah, if anyone sees this, please leave a comment on what you'd like to see. Yeah, I think that'd be helpful. I like different themes and topics and such like that. So please do that. That will mean a lot to me too, to know if people are watching. Eventually, I want to put this on Spotify, and I'm working on a few other things, and like Apple Podcasts or something. Amen. So let's end this. 1, 2, 3. Whatever it takes.